Hey, what's up, guys? It's Navarro Penny Stocks Club 13, June 30th, 2020. What a day, guys. Up and down. Came out green, so far green, just because of a day trade and some swing trades that I'm currently on. And, I want to take some of my trades back. But again, that's part of the deal. You can't always win them. And you're wrong, you're wrong. There's nothing else about it. You just got to move on to the next stock. So, anyways, that was the kind of day I had. A little bit of a struggle, but that's the life with trading, guys. It's not always gonna be a straight uh, way up in your profit curve. So, today I work for my money. In that regard, let's get to it, guys. I'm gonna talk about POLA. This was a day trade that I had. I traded in the morning, and then unfortunately, I had to run out of town with my family for some business ventures that my wife and I were interested in. But anyways, came back and saw this big move, and I was like, man, and it set up for a great uh, trade at the break of 275 and three, guys. You got those levels here, but that's a talk for another day. Let me talk to you about my trade idea, my day trade. Let's go to the 1 day 3 minute. Okay. Well, actually, let me explain to you why I have this line right here. So again, a whole number of $2 right here, whole number level. I like those levels, and I was waiting for it to break over it at the market open, but that wasn't going to be my entry. Not this time, guys. Let me explain to you why. Because you got the 180 SMA right here at the 210 level, and there's two key things that are going to happen when I take you to the 1 day 3 minute chart. Okay, so the 1 day 3 minute chart, I'm gonna show you pre-market action, and I had to look at pre-market action to determine some levels, and then I'll take you to the 1 day, 1 year, 1 day chart, so that you can understand a little better what I was looking at. Okay, so um, here is the pre-market action, right? And you get the $2 level. As you can see, it was holding support there. It held support. At market open, it sold below. It kind of found support at the 190. So again, I was looking for it to break over two. It broke over two. Again, this was not my entry because you got VWAP right here at that 210. And remember that $2.10 level is for the 180 SMA is at. That's another resistance that you see right there, right? Again, it's all psychological resistance, but if it gets broken and it sets up, then we're good to go. I was looking for an entry, right? I wanted confirmation that it was going to hold support over that 210 or the VWAP level. Now, here I have this red line at the 220 because it got close to it, but it got rejected. So now I'm looking at the 220 as another key resistance level. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to right click and I'm going to extend this line to the left. I will show you why on the daily in a little bit. Now, the other thing I saw pre-market is that 240 level, right? You got that rejection at the 240 level. So another key level that needed to be broken. So I wanted to set myself up around 220 for the break of 240. Now, I wasn't going to take profits at 240. I was setting up at 220 for the break of 240, which was the pre-market high, right? So the next candle breaks over 220, but it closes below the 220 level, but above VWAP, right? Here's the close at 217. So now what I'm saying is, okay, let me go take a quick look. Now, when I'm trading, I have two charts, and I have the 1 day 3 minute, and I also have the daily chart on my same screen. So I don't have to be going back and forth. Right now, I'm just sharing the entire screen so y'all can see. So again, this was the 220 level, right? So I extended it to the left. This is why I needed to find if it was a legitimate resistance level, a level that I needed to look at, right? And sure it is. Look at this. It's a little bit to go by, but as you can see, it was kind of where it found some support and resistance, stuff like that, right? And then I told you about that pre-market high at 240. Now let me extend this to the left. And as you can see here, it constantly got rejected at 240, and it's just trading, straddling that 240 level. Comes back, bounces close to 240. So you know that that's another key level, right? So now let me take you back to the 1 day 3 minute. So This is the candle we're talking about that closed below 220 but above VWAP, right? Then it broke. It tested 240. Now watch how consistent the levels is. The rejection at 220, then close to 220 in this later part of the this candle, and then again rejected at 240, right? So now I say, okay, now let's look for an entry. Let's look for the setup, right? Let's see if it's gonna show some support at that 220 level. So next candle, okay, next candle right here. You see those bottom wicks? That's showing support at VWAP. Okay, and then look at the next candle. I set a right when I saw this, I set a limit order at 220 for 500 shares, and that's all I traded. 500 shares with this one. That was enough for me today, because I was invested in other stocks while this was going on. So I just put 500 limit order at 220, and I got filled right away on this one. I was never green as soon as it took off. I mean, I was never red. I was green constantly or instantly, and once it broke 240 again, I was waiting for the break of 240. So let me take you to that action. Came back, tested 240, and then it took off. Now I was looking to take profits at 280. And I thought it was going to get all the way up to 3, but this is what scared me, guys. Okay, I see this upper wick, and I said, okay, no way. I need to start taking profits. So when this candle started for me, I started taking profits at 275, and then the other half sold at 280. This one, it was a day trade, so I wasn't going to be scaling out too much. I was just going to be taking profits. And I did. And it was a great trade, guys, from my entry from 220 to, let's say, an average of 277, because I did two sell orders. So 25% gain on 500 shares, guys. That is awesome. That is more than 50%, than 50 cents per share. Sorry about that. And well, now I was looking for another setup. Now I remember I was about to leave and take off out of town. But let's talk about this 240 level, right? Now what we're looking for is for this 240 level to become support. And look at what it did. It just became support right here. Showed you that 240 is going to become support. The entry would have been here at 260, would have been the perfect entry, guys. You got confirmation because you've got this 3 candles, 4 candles coming down. This one broke this 2 previous candles highs, right? Made a new high at 260 with an increase in volume, guys. That was your entry for a push to 3. Like I told you, I thought it was going to get to 3. If your entry would have been anywhere 260, 270, which would have been the buy zone, okay? Now you've got, let's say you bought it at 270 very conservatively. You sold at 3 or right before 3, that's a 10% gain. That's another great trade, guys. And then let me zoom out because I'm going to show you how those 2 levels that I spoke about, the 220 and the 240, were key. So remember, this is the 220, right? And I told you I entered my position at 220, sold at 275 and 280. Okay, so if you can see here, this is where it bounced, guys. It started consolidating at 220, and then it just took off. Now, I wouldn't have entered here until the break of VWAP. So it broke VWAP. Now, on the confirmation that it's gonna bounce at VWAP and continue going. Now, there's 2 things that happen here, guys, and this is very important. You need to understand this. This is gonna hopefully make you more money in the future. You can see the volume just starting to roll, coming back in, right? But that's not the only thing. You've got the price action breaking above VWAP. You've got this 9 EMA about to cross over. So your entry would have been right here, guys, in this candle, because now you got the VWAP and trend line crossover, which I've spoken about in other videos. This is your entry right here, and look at it. Look at this trend line just holding support all the way through. Just, I mean, amazing, guys, amazing. So this is what I missed in the afternoon. Again, I was out of town. When I came back, I saw this action. I said, man, I missed a whole bunch. I left a lot of money on the table. Could have made more money on a swing trade, but I can't be in it all the time. I'm happy with my day. I'll be fine. There'll be better days to come, and other opportunities. So nothing to worry about. POLA, I still got a 25% out of its move, so I'm happy with it. Let's move on to yesterday's video. I spoke about LPCN, and I told you, let me take you to the daily. If you go back and watch yesterday's video, guys, I spoke about this pattern here, the uptrend. It's above the 180 and above all the EMAs. And I told you it's making this flag pattern. Okay, and let me zoom in because I did talk about this yesterday. I told you that I saw two rejections at 120. One here, the second one here. And I told you I was going to position myself around the 120 level. I positioned myself at 119 with a good amount of shares. And look at the candle I put up later. A little bit of increasing volume. Now, tomorrow, hopefully, I want to see continuation with a little bit more volume. Um, I don't know if it's going to work where it's just gonna take off and hopefully trigger some short squeeze or something. I don't know. Right now I'm green and hopefully I can take some off and hopefully let some right if it gives me the opportunity tomorrow. But like I told you, if you follow the videos and follow my plans, it's all laid out for you there, guys. I mean, just put your time and effort into it, set your alerts, and if you want to trade with more confirmation, guys, here's what you could have done. Okay, you could have waited all day. You can set alerts right here below. You can go to create an alert, and then at 116, at or below. When it gets at or below, then you know what? I'm not interested. It broke below it, or you can set an alert up here. You know what? If it breaks over 120, at or above 120, then I'll buy into it because I want to buy when it's over 120. I want to buy with confirmation. So those are the two things you could have done. I believe I set myself up somewhere here. I took a started position and then I added some more. Once it broke above 120, I added some more here at 119. And then right now it's trading a little higher after market. So hopefully it opens up. It keeps on going tomorrow. LPCN straight off yesterday's video. Now let's go to a late call out from my part. TTOO back on the list, guys. Back on watch, and I'm actually back in it with I believe I went in with 500, 300 shares. 300 shares. It was late. I really didn't want to risk too much, and again, still, I came in and I saw this action right here. We had some late news, and I said, "Man, this looks so good." And looking at the daily, I was like, "I got to get in on this." So I saw it right here, like around 10 minutes before 5 minutes before 5 o'clock. And then I took a position. I put an order out, a limit order for 180. Once it got me in, I go to my smaller account. And I said, I gotta get in on my smaller account and start growing that account. So I got in with a full account. I never do that, but it's a small account. I really don't care. And I got in with 100 at the 180 level as well. And well, look at this big move from 180, closed at 220 at 7 p.m. Central Time for a 22% gain so far. Again, it's unrealized. I haven't locked it in. I still need to lock in those profits, but so far it seems to be working, guys. So again, it all depends on it's open tomorrow. I feel it's gonna be a gap. I mean, it is a gapper already. I just feel that it's gonna be a gap and go tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's just my idea. I don't know. Okay, again, nothing's sure in the market. These are not something that I'm telling you to buy. I'm just telling you that this is a good trading opportunity for tomorrow. Okay, again, trade at your own risk. So TTOO, guys, bought it at 180. Now let me take you to the daily. Let me explain to you my plan. So what I have this red line here, and this is a 180. So when I got here, I told you it was 5 minutes before 5 o'clock. I took my trade at around 5:01. Okay, so I drew this line right here, and it was. Let me take you back to the 1 day 3 minute. I drew my line right here when it was bouncing around 180, right? And I extended it to the left because you gotta look left to anticipate to the right. And sure enough, 180 was a rejection. So I said, "Oh man, it's got to become support now." And that's what triggered my decision to buy at 180. This line right here, where I see this trend around the 180, where it's support, it has been supporting resistance. Now, what other levels are we looking at? Well, it stopped at 220, right? So now, if you go to 220, that's a 220 level. You know how it became support? Well, now it's resistance. If it breaks over 220 tomorrow, I mean, we're good. Now we got room all the way to 3, right? So you got some resistance levels at 280, at 3. You got to look for that. So I'll be taking profits as it's going on. If it sets up in the afternoon for a swing trade, then I'll take or leave some. I don't know. It depends on how it closes, but I will be taking profits tomorrow morning. Hopefully, it'll give me the opportunity to come out with a good chunk of money there. Um, Now let me talk about my failed trades SLO. This one, oh man, I know Danny said that it was overextended. Sometimes I get stubborn and I should listen, but in my eyes, this trade setup was great. And I'm gonna talk to you about one thing though. I do have this line here at the 220 level, right, where it's shown support and resistance. And look where it bounced, guys, at the 220 level. So what I'm looking for now is for it to come and test this level right here of 260, guys. It's still on watch. I mean, I don't know. For now, it's just on watch. We'll see what happens. But if it continues making that curling action that I talk about, I'll be in it again. And failed trade, fortunately, I had that big day trade. I'm up on TTOO. I'm up on LPCN a little bit, and that kept me green for the day. ZOM, guys. Okay, ZOM is still on watch, and I'm gonna explain to you why again. I did get stopped out, but I do plan to get back in if it gives me an opportunity. It sets up itself or something like that. So I told you about this one on Monday that it closed above the SMA. Today closed below, but it's putting up this little wedge, this little flag, as you can see. So now what I'm looking for is for it to break over 0.25 and test this high levels here of 26 and 27 so that I can enter and position myself here for a push to 30 and 35. This is what I'm looking for, guys, on ZOM. Again, it's had bigger volume in recent days and it's flagging with a decrease in volume. So this one, as you can see, I have a million alerts here. I'm ready to jump back in if it gives me another opportunity. For now, it stopped me out. I did lose a little bit of money, gave back some profits, but nonetheless, I mean, it's still on watch, and that's what's going to happen. It'll continue happening. You can't be upset. You just gotta trade what you see and never give up. Never give up on the trade, guys. That's my advice to you. If it doesn't work the first time, like I've told you, sometimes it's just the timing that's not there. If it gives you back another entry opportunity for a setup, then go for it, guys. Okay, don't be afraid to risk what you see. If you see something that you see value in, that you see that it might work, go for it. Okay. That's it for me, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions, any comments, post them down on the YouTube comments below. You also be on WhatsApp again. Post them on WhatsApp, and I'll try to help you out as much as possible. And we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Have a good one.